Hey,
Hello, Burton. Good to see you today. My point here is
yeah,
discussing your experience as a deaf youth
uh,
growing up. You grew up deaf, right? And my question is about school. Did you
yes,
go to
Montreal
school in
Lake.
Montreal Lake? And what was your experience as a deaf student? How were you able to communicate? What
Um,
went on there?
so in Montreal Lake, I was mainstream. My education wasn't the best. Mostly I went out for sports. I mean, on the hockey, soccer, that was great. But there wasn't anything, no signing in the classroom. The teachers just wrote on the boards. We just all copied what was written. That was the process. That's it. That's how it went day after day. That was my education. There's one person close to me. We worked together a little bit, and but nothing like an interpreter or a TA that worked with you in the classroom and helped through the process. And that was problematic. My education shaky at
Oh.
best.
So you have a sister and she's
No,
also deaf?
my sister who's deaf, she went off to Saskatoon, the deaf school
Where did
there.
she go to school?
Yes, the Saskatchewan School for the Deaf in Saskatoon.
Ah,
She grew up there, not me. I had to stay home. I was the baby, last one in
yeah,
the
yeah.
family, and so I was at home. My parents just didn't want to let go of the baby.
Oh, so you were
Yes, we
separated.
were quite far apart, my sister and I, and she would bug my parents. You need to send him to
Yeah,
school. You need to
right.
send him to deaf school. They're like, no, we don't want to let go of
Oh,
him. And so I was at
I
home.
see.
And as I grew up a little bit, well, the teacher at my hearing school, she said, he has hearing problems, and we need to send him to the school for the deaf in Saskatoon. So I went there, and they did test my hearing, and found that that was the case, needed to be done. So I went into the school for the deaf. I was very attracted to the signing that
Yeah,
took
yeah,
place
yeah.
there, and I saw other deaf students, and I saw them signing, and I was very interested in it, and I saw their hockey team, like, oh man, these guys are amateurs. I could dominate here. And a teacher came up to me like, what do you think? And based on the hearing test, I said, I want to stay here. I want to learn how to sign. I want to pick this up. So he said, like the school? Yeah, I want to socialize with the other deaf kids. My teacher says, you like it? All right, let's see what we
Mm-hmm.
can do. They talked to my
Mm-hmm.
parents, had a discussion. I was transferred from Montreal Lake to the School for the Deaf. And it was wonderful.
Wow. So you went on and graduated
Yeah, I went to eventually MC Jury School for the Deaf.
in Ontario. How long were you in
Three
Saskatoon?
years. Then it closed. Oh, until it
Oh, so it was
closed, until
1991
Saskatoon closed.
get it.
Got
Yep,
it.
yep, yep.
And then I transferred into a mainstream school for a year with an interpreter, but it wasn't very good. So they contacted
Yeah, yeah.
another deaf school in Ontario, as I was telling you about,
Okay.
MC Dury School for the Deaf. And they were flexible. They let me go. They said, yeah, it's where you need to be. It's for deaf First Nation students. And that worked out so well. So
Oh,
I was off.
so you graduated
Yeah.
from the MC Dury
Mm-hmm.
School.
Yeah.
So you grew up with the early on mainstreaming, which you didn't
Well,
get
I
that
got blamed
involved
for
in.
everything, all growing up. And when I was mainstreaming, I got in so much trouble, punished all the time. I remember they got gum I was chewing, maybe stick it on my nose, stand in the corner.
Oh my.
And kids were throwing stuff at me while I'm standing in the corner. And I wasn't guilty of doing anything.
Oh, that's
They would
awful.
write notes and pass it around, give it to the teacher, like, look what he said. Now we get punished. I couldn't read it. I mean, I couldn't even write it.
Oof.
And they would, give it around like, no, it wasn't me, it was him. And I would get blamed for everything. They were bullied to me. It wasn't a very friendly environment there. So,
Hmm.
is what it is.
So because you were deaf, they thought
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Yeah.
you didn't know what was going on. It
Mm-hmm.
would be easy enough to blame you, and so everyone was
Yeah.
using it as a
Mm-hmm.
scapegoat, trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
That wasn't fair. And then you went off to the school you graduated at, Jury School
Yes,
for
I
the
felt
Deaf. You're able
conflict.
to find a sense of identity, figure out who you
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
understand yourself as an Aboriginal person. You go back to Montreal Lake,
Yep.
you're able
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes, I was able to
communicate with
communicate with
those
them
people, tell them what
directly.
was going
Yeah,
on.
to address the things that had gone on with different individuals. Talk about how they treated me, and that really silenced some of the critics.
Oh, amazing. So dancing, I mean, how did you become a dancer? Who taught you? How was that
Okay, so
explained?
when I was in the school for the deaf, we were looking around for programming. They didn't have a lot for First Nations culture, and so the principal he said he'd look around, and finally he was able to
Mm-hmm.
find something at the Joe Duquette High School
Mm-hmm.
for
Yep.
First Nations people. And so I would go over there. I'd take an interpreter
Yeah.
with me.
Okay.
And we went over there, and at that First Nation school, it was great. I established some good relationships. So the School of the Deaf didn't have the First Nations culture classes offering. They had First Nations history, they had First Nations social study, and First Nations dance at this high school. And so I picked First Nations history, but that was full. So the last two options were social studies and, no, it was science. Yeah, science and First Nations dancing. And I looked at it, and yeah, it was said to me like, "Oh, I don't know, can like a deaf person learn to dance? Do it." I was like, "Well, we'll see." I liked it, so I tried dancing and progressed, went, got better, picked it up, and now I'm traveling the world.
Oh,
Just me alone. I mean, I really enjoy it, but out of all my family, I'm the only dancer. I'm the only one.
Just
me,
you.
yeah.
So you're traveling the world. You're dancing. Where are some of the places you've gone?
France, Paris, recently, just 2-3 years ago. I went to France.
Is there other places you've been?
America,
Oh,
all
America.
over.
Yeah, traveling around
traveling.
America.
Most, see, like, I have different First Nations organizations that contact me and said, "Do you mind come dancing?" I was like, "Oh, you want me to come dancing and go to different places?" I'm like, "I don't mind." So I travel up north. I travel all over dancing.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, now you've become a successful First Nations dancer. You've really taken off. You've been able to talk with the hearing culture, take away some of those stereotypes about inequality, help them understand they were wrong, talk to those individuals you had a past with. They're able to watch you dancing and see your success, and that's established a greater sense of equality.
And I think even in the next week or two, I will dance like 4 or 5 times PA. They texted me. I said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to go out and do that."
Oh, good for you. That stops the bullying. Now they're calling on you to be the teacher, to go and show them dancing. It's calling you to travel around.
It's good. Now I get to be the teacher.
Oh, that is right. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and to discuss with an interview with me today. Thank you.